Hello to everybody students, welcome to our English class. So everybody knows I think, so in the last classes we have started our third unit about the human relations children. So from that unit we had the three parts, the reading A, B and C. The first part is related to the lesson, the journey. Now we have completed the first reading A part, we are going to start the reading B now, that is poem children. One poem is present, so everybody should have to take the page number 87 children. 87, the name of the poem is nothing but Another Woman. Another Woman is the title of our poem children. Come on, everybody should have to take the page number 87. So you will be finding the poem, right? So before going to start our poem children, so let us discuss about the relationship, human relationship. So in the beginning of the unit I have told you that relationship, about the relationship means, so we are living in one family means we had a lot of relationships in our family itself. Okay, so the relationship between the father and the mother, the relationship between the brother and the sister, the relationship between the husband and wife. Okay, so the relationship between the grandfather and the grandson. So this kind of different relationship we are facing in our daily life, yes or no? We had in our daily life. So if you are belonging to big family, you had a great relationship, yes or no? If you are belonging to small family, you have only few members. So in that few members also the relationship is the same. There is no difference in those relationships, right? So here Another Woman is the children. So this is the poem which is dealing about. It is dealing about what means? It is about the domestic violence faced by a woman in present society children. Okay, so in our present society whatever the problems are faced by the women, that is explained here. So where the women are going to be suffered, are they suffering in their home, that means where they have born, the girls, the women are suffering at their home? No, they are not suffering at their parent home, they are suffering at their in-laws home. Okay, they are suffering at their in-laws home. So whatever the domestic violence, how they are treated to the daughter-in-laws, that is explained in our poem children. Now, so we have came across what here, woman in the sense we had a lot of relations among the women, yes or no? Mother relationship, sister relationship, yes or no? Aunt, you can tell aunt also. But so the relationship between the mother-in-law and the daughter-in-law is very different children. Okay, so you might have seen that they will be always like Tom and Jerry, yes or no? So how the Tom and Jerry will fight with each other, no? So that kind of relationship we can see in our today's society children. Okay, so instead of speaking all these words, let us start our poem. So what is given in our poem? The lengthiest, it is a very lengthiest poem children, so it is easy for you to understand. Okay, so this is the poem in our textbook. Few pictures are given here. So one woman is going to be burned in the fire, yes or no? And here see how a person is rudely speaking with his wife, yes or no? How the husband is speaking rudely with his wife, that we are able to see here. So by these two pictures we can tell that how the women are going to be treated in their in-laws home, right? So the poet of this poem is not the poet children. This is the female poetess. Her name is Miss Imtiaz Dharkar. Okay, so this is the poetess of our poem. Now let us read the poem once children, then afterwards we will continue the remaining part of the explanation, right? Now, this morning she bought green methi in the market, choosing the freshest bunch, picked up a white radish. Imagine the crunch it would make between her teeth, the sweet sharp taste. Then put it aside, thinking it an extravagance, counted her coins out carefully, tied them, a small bundle, into her sari at the waist, came home, faced her mother-in-law's dark looks, took the leaves and chopped them, her hands stained yellow from the juice, cut an onion, fine and cooked the whole thing in the pot over the stove, shielding her face from the heat. The usual words came and beat her wings against her. The money spent, curses heaped upon her parents, who had sent her out to darken out people's door. She crouched as usual on the floor beside the stove. When the man came home, she did not look into his face nor raise her head, but bent her face a little more. Nothing gave her the right to speak. Next paragraph, next stanza, children. She watched the flame hiss up, the beat against the cheap old spot, a wing of brightness against its blackened cheek. This was the house she had been sent to, the man she had been bound to, the future she had been born into. So when the kerosene was thrown, just a moment of surprise, a brilliant spark. It was the only choice that she had ever known. Another torch blazing in the dark, another woman. We shield our faces from the heat. Okay, children. So this is the poem given in our textbook. So the clear explanation, if you want the clear explanation, you can refer through the material also. You will be finding the complete summary of this poem in the material. So okay. So you need the explanation from your teacher, right? So I can easily make you to understand this poem in our from the material, children. Why can't you refer the material? See, let us take the let us have the explanation from our material, children. So what is given here in the poem? Have you seen the pictures now? How the woman is going to be burned and how the person is speaking with his wife very rudely in a manner. Yes or no? So if this situation occurs, children, what the woman will do? Okay, if she is going to suffer a lot in her in-laws house, what she used to do? She had no chance to escape from the home. Yes or no? So directly she began to do something. Let us know what she is going to do in this poem, right? Now, Imtiaz Tharkar, another woman, is about the domestic violence happening against women all over India. So already I have told you, this is the poem. This is the poem about the how the women are going to face the domestic violence which is happening in our all over India, children. Okay, not only in one locality, in one state. Okay, it is happening all over the India. The title suggests that domestic violence is a case which could apply to a single woman. So here the title suggested another woman. Another woman is suggesting what here? What it is suggesting? It is not a case which could apply to a single woman. That means whatever the domestic violence is given in our poem, children, it is not applied for one woman. So all over the women which are present in India, okay, which are facing the problems in their in-laws homes. Now this poem tells us the ill treatment of the woman. So what the poem is telling? The poem is telling the ill treatment of the woman, which leads their ending the life. So lastly, when they are treated ill, okay, when they are ill treated at their homes, children, what they are going to do? They are just going to attempt for the suicide. Okay. Now let us start here. So our Miss Imtiaz Tharkar has explained about how the women are going to be ill treated in their in-laws home. Now let us start our poem. The explanation is going to start from here, from the first stanza. The woman in the poem goes to market to purchase vegetables. So the woman which has mentioned in our poem, no, she went to the market to purchase the vegetables. She buy green methi and then wishes to have a white radish. Okay, so she bought what, children? First she bought the green methi. Methi means the meaning also given. Fenugreek. The another name for methi is nothing but fenugreek. In Telugu we are going to call mentham kurano. So like that. So that methi she has bought, and then afterwards she also bought the white radish. Okay, white radish also. The radish, it will be looking like carrot, children. The carrot is in orange in color. Yes or no? Right. But here radish is in which color? White in color. So we can use this as garnishing when we are preparing a special dishes at our home. Okay, we are going to garnish our food with radish, carrot, onions, lemons, with that all. So she took that one also. When she has taken, she imagines about the crunch it makes when she puts it in between her teeth and its sharp taste. See here. So whenever she has taken that radish also, what she has imagined, she imagined how it makes the sound when we are going to put in our mouth. Okay, and when we are going to crunch that, we are going to get the different sound, and she is imagining the taste of that radish also, thinking that it is an extravagance. Okay, so she is thinking, after taking the only two vegetables, she is thinking that it is going to become extravagance. Extravagant means, so whatever we are expecting more than that, children. Okay, suppose your parents are giving 10 rupees for you to buy something from the market and come to the home, but you are expecting more. Okay, instead of buying for 10 rupees, you are going to buy for 15 rupees or 12 rupees or 20 rupees. So when you are making the more and more charges for buying another, when you are giving the more and more charges for the buying the material, means that means it is the extravagance. Okay, more extra expenditure also we can do. Right, now she puts her thoughts aside. So whatever thoughts, see, when you go to the market, children, you wants to buy many things. Okay, or even when you go to the market, you will buy one or two things. No, wherever you go into the market, you will be finding different types of vegetables, things, or whatever it may be, but you don't want to buy it. Why? Because you are going to take the limited amount of money. Yes or no? Right. Next one, she counts her coins carefully and ties them in the bundle at her waist. So whatever the coins, that means this lady is one of the daughter-in-law. Okay, kodalu telnochalam kodalu. So when attamma sends her kodalu to the market, she puts some condition, no? So how much money I have given to you, you just go and take the vegetables and come. That's all. Yes or no? So like that conditions put by the kept by the mother-in-laws. So when during that time, what the daughter-in-laws will do, children? Daughter-in-laws actually whatever they are expecting, no, they are not going to buy that much of things. Okay, limited amount of vegetables or things they are going to buy here. Now, so after buying these two things, she had little amount of coin, that means money, children. What she is doing, she just tying that money into her whatever the sari she has worn, no, she has tied that money into her sari, and that money was kept at her waist. Waist is nothing but here, children, this is called the waist part. W-A-I-S-T, waist. Next one is, then she returned home and faces the harsh behavior of her mother-in-law. Okay, so after going home, okay, even though she has brought little amount of vegetables also, she is going to listen the lot of words of her mother-in-law. Why? Because, how you have brought the vegetables, they are not fresh. Okay, why can't you buy less amount, why can't you spend less amount of money for the vegetables? So this kind of words are told by me here, this kind of words are told by the mother-in-laws to their daughter-in-laws. Okay, next, she takes methi leaves and cut off them and the other vegetables with care and prepares curry. Okay, so whatever the vegetables she has brought, the methi she has brought, no, the methi she has brought, to prepare that methi, she has cut the onions also. So when she was cutting that vegetables, so her hands, it is explained in our poem that her fingers were fully covered with the stains of juice which is present in the vegetables, children. Yes or no? So when you are cutting the beetroot, the color of the beetroot is in red and pink in color, no? When you are cutting it, a lot of stains are going to appear on your hands, like that, children. Now she has cutted all the vegetables and she began to prepare a curry. Now at this time she protected herself from the heat. So whenever she is going to cook the food, she always to protect her face and her body from the fire. Yes or no, children? So even though our parents also, our mothers also, when they are cooking, when they are going to cook the food, they will be very careful. Yes or no? They are going to be very careful. So nowadays we have the gas stove, children. Even though gas stove also is very harmful to us. In olden days the people used to have the firewood. Okay, they used to cook the food in the firewood. Yes or no? Like that. Now the mother-in-law curses her for spending money. So even though she has brought the little amount of vegetables also, her mother-in-law is going to curse. Curse means showing anger upon her. Yes or no? See, showing upon her anger means, that means the mother-in-laws are torturing for the daughter-in-laws. Okay, so like that, the feelings are going to come here. She also curses her parents for sending her to bring ill luck to them. So not only she is making angry upon the daughter-in-law, even though she is making the anger, she is showing the anger upon the parents who has sent this lady or a woman, okay, to this house after the marriage. For their parents also, means the woman's parent also, this mother-in-law is going to scold in their houses. Now the girl listened to all her curses by crouching as usual on the floor beside the stove. So whatever the words are told, whatever the angerness is shown by the mother-in-laws, that all words are listened by whom here? These all words are listened by the daughter-in-laws. Okay, and even though if they are listening to those words, means they are not going to stop any work and they are immediately rushing into the bedroom and they begin to cry. In that way they are not going to do. If they are going to follow that method, means the mother-in-laws are having the what? Beatings also. Okay, so that is happened, that much torture the woman is going to face in the woman is facing in her house. She doesn't face her husband who comes home. So from morning to evening the men will not be at home present. Okay, so where they are going to have children, they are going to have their do their work, they are going to do their work. So when they leave home from the morning, again afternoon, or sorry, again at the evening time they will come back to their home. So whatever the time is spent, this lady with her mother-in-law, she has listened a lot of curses from her mother-in-law. Yes, sir. Next one. So whenever her husband come to the home, she did not face anything. That means she did not blame about the mother-in-law to her husband children. Now he simply keeps quiet, though he listened to his mother's harsh words. Okay, he not children. She simply keeps quiet. Okay, whatever the mother-in-law is telling, speaking, showing the anger upon the daughter-in-law, she, even though after listening what she is doing, she is not showing any action when she is not repeating those words in front of her husband. She bent a little more when he comes home. Okay, so even when the mother-in-law is scolding to this lady, at that time also she is bending and listening to the words. After the husband coming also, she is listening the same words by bending her head. There is no right for her to speak about anything in that home. Okay, so there are some rules, children, in some houses. After getting married, a woman should not open her mouth in front of the family members. That condition was put by their mother-in-laws and the father-in-laws to the daughter-in-laws. Okay, in some homes. So she has followed the same rule. Okay, she did not speak anything against their home. She sit watching the flame hisses up. Okay, so now she is unable to bear the situation, whatever the treatment, whatever the domestic violence shown by their mother-in-law, she was unable to bear. Even though the mother-in-law is showing the domestic violence, here husband also not showing any mercy upon the woman here. So lastly, what this lady is going to do, let us see here. So she sits watching the flame hisses up. She was fed up now, and immediately she began to see the firewood. Next one. This is the house where she has been sent to as a daughter-in-law. So she is telling that what? So this is the house where I have came into this. This is the house where I have sent by my parents as a daughter-in-law. This is the man who she was wedded to. Okay, this is the man who is not showing any mercy upon his wife. Okay, this is the man where I have married. She is telling. This is the future she has been born into. Okay, so lastly what she has done, she was fed up with the husband, she was fed up with the house members. So lastly she has decided to attempt for suicide, children. She doesn't have patience to bear her suffering anymore. Okay, she don't have any patience also. Even though we will also do the same, no, children. If we are unable to bear the situations, many people we are watching in the news, in the television and in the newspaper. Okay, what we are seeing, the person has expired due to some reason, he was unable to have bear the situation, like that. So here also the woman is doing the same here. The only option left in front of her is to take her life. Okay, so only option is remained what here, take her life means she wanted to have she wanted to attempt for the suicide. So she submitted herself to the hands of the flame. So immediately what she has done, okay, what she has done, so she has attempted to the suicide. In what way she has taken attempted the suicide? She has poured complete kerosene upon her body and she began to burn by herself. Okay, so that picture you can see into the in our textbook poems. Okay, in our poem we can see the picture how the woman is going to burn. Next one, thus she ends her life. So lastly she ends her life without bearing the conditions which was without bearing the situation which was she was facing in her house. She is the representative of all the women who are the victims of domestic violence. So she has become one of the example children. Okay, so she has become the one of the example for what purpose? She has become the one of the example for those women who are facing the same problem in their houses. Okay, in our India. Shows she has become the representative. She has become the one of the example for this domestic violence. Though we know about it, even though we also know about it, many people are facing no. Even though we know about it, we pay no attention toward it and turn our faces from the harsh relative of our society. See here. So even though if we know the situations are going to occur in some families also, just we are neglecting to those situations. Okay, so and the sons are going to support to their mothers only, and here daughter-in-laws becoming the helpless. Okay, they are becoming the helpless. Lastly, what they are doing, they are just attempting for the suicide only. Okay, now next one, we know that women are getting killed and oppressed in the name of birth, gender discrimination, dowry, etc. So here not only the tortures put by the mother-in-laws or husband in the family, okay, in the family children. So even though by spending the money or in other issues also about the gender discrimination also, suppose gender discrimination in the sense, suppose a newly married couples have married, okay, so one couples have married, so after the 1 or 2 years they are going to have one daughter in their home. Okay, so first daughter they will be very happy. For the next pregnancy or for the next conceiving, they had again the same daughter. Okay, so they will have the gender discrimination. Even though in the third time, if they have any planning for the children, so they wanted to remove the child from their mother's womb, like that. So gender discrimination. Dowry children. Okay, so dowry in our in our daily life we are going to see that in our families also. Before only our parents are arranging the money to give the dowry to their son-in-laws. Yes or no? Right. So that their daughter should not face any problem in the future. But there is no one to act against it. So our Mrs. Imtiaz Dharkar, what she is telling is, even though we are looking this all the conditions and all the news, after listening all the news about the death of the woman also, we are not taking any action. That is, who is telling here? Mrs. Imtiaz Dharkar, our poetess is telling. Okay, the sweet poem is told by the Imtiaz Dharkar children. So what is the poem is that about? Another woman. Okay, not only the complete tortures has made by one woman here, another women also in our India, the women who are present in other India who are facing with the domestic violence, they also facing the same problem. Okay, so we should have to, what is our responsibility? We should have to interact with those houses. Okay, we should have to give counseling for those houses who are making the tortures to the women in our society, children. Right? So with this I am ending my class. In the next class we are going to have the one more new topic, children. So read this poem, understand it, and whatever the topics, whatever the glossary is given, refer to those glossary, children. So if you have time for the completion of the notes, you can complete the writing the difficult words and the meanings of this poem, children. So with this I am ending my class. In the next class we will be having the another topic. So bye to everybody.